we're gonna go to this main shape right here, and I'm gonna show you how we're gonna create the actual hole for the rest of the elements. Now, one thing that I'm noticing here is if we were to select this guy and turn on transparency, you're gonna see that this thing is touching the fire, of course, the fire blob, and some of the bandages. So we're actually gonna have to combine everything before we do the proper positioning, but I'm gonna show you a quick little way here. So let's start with this guy first. Let's dynamesh, of course, so that we get back the information. And what I'm gonna do is I'm actually gonna inflate this a little bit. I'm gonna create like a blob here. And the blob is gonna be like the place that we're gonna eventually intersect with our element. Actually, I think I went a little bit too much. There we go. So just a little bit of an intersection there. I just want to make sure that there's enough space like touching every point of where we're going to be like actually colliding. So yeah, that looks good. Now that we have that, we can start playing around with the elements as well. Oh. Sorry about this. You know how Photoshop is. I hate it. I hate that this happens. I've been doing some research on why it happens, and it seems to be some sort of conflict between the drivers. Like Photoshop wants to use like Windows Ink and Huion does not. So yeah. Anyway, so we're gonna add some of this effects right here. And again, on the base here, this is where we really wanna push like this sort of like magical shapes and create some interesting effects. Always taking or thinking about the silhouettes. So for instance, on this side view, that looks really good, but on this front view, it looks horrible. So that means that I'm gonna have to like push this and create something that looks a little bit more interesting. Maybe like push this like this. You know what I mean? Like it's very important that we always like explore our statues from every single angle, because we don't know what angle people are gonna be like seeing them from. Let's keep this sort of like line, like rising line going up there. Again, kind of like locks of hair. This one we can keep like really simple. No need to overthink it. And then here, I would definitely like to create like some sort of like holding thing, right? Like this sort of thing where the flames are, or the magic's like going over the element, so that we don't see the transition as cleanly. So we're gonna push some of this, kind of like holding or yeah, just like creating a little bit of a, well, it's an overlap at the end of the day, right? So it's dynamesh. Then in standard, make sure we have enough intensity, and we start carving this lines right here. Like if we need to remove some of the elements here to show a little bit more of the bandage, that's fine. I'm adding a little bit of a curvature there, again to add some visual interest. And then this thing is going to be rising in this direction as well. Make sure it flows nicely, it interacts with the other piece. I'm gonna use my move brush again to give it this sort of like loop. But we don't want to hug it as much. Like I'd rather have it a little bit more like separate, because then it's gonna be really difficult to make it fit. So something like this. Like that thing right there. Let's get rid of that one. Dynamesh. Careful on those holes right there. We don't want any like negative shapes or anything. And yeah, that's pretty much it. I mean, as with everything, we can polish this until we have no more time. But I really like how this is looking right now. think we have a nice transition. Best way to take this or check this out is with a render. So just like take a couple of renders so that we don't see any weird shadows. And yeah, as long as the materials read differently, like the bandages and these things, then we're in a good position. And of course the paint job or an eventual paint job would make it so much more easier to see. There we go. So now we're gonna jump onto the preparation of this thing, and we know that this element right here is gonna be pasted to Gavala, right? It's gonna be like one with the leg, but we don't need Gavala right now anymore. So I'm gonna delete this like statue for now. I'm gonna hit save as. I'm gonna save this base, of course. And the most important thing is I wanna remove the section of this piece from everything else. We are not gonna use this either, so let's delete that one as well, the base. There we go. We're only gonna be using this one. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna turn off the main flame right there. I'm just gonna keep this one right here, and I'm gonna say merge visible, and that's gonna combine all of them into a single like merge tool, which is this one right here. First thing I'm gonna do is I'm gonna use my knife brush to again flatten everything, make sure that we don't have any like extra polygons. We probably need to Dynamesh, so I'm gonna turn like the resolution quite high, like 1000, and Dynamesh. Let's see if we can conserve most of the details there. Oh, let's keep ZBrush a couple of seconds. There we go. So everything's closed, most of the details are there, and we're ready to do the change here. So what we're gonna do is we're actually gonna create the live boolean. So I'm gonna turn on live boolean. I'm gonna say append, and we're gonna append a little flame from this one right here. So let's select a little flame, and here we're gonna append the little flame. And then what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna subtract the little flame. So as you can see, that's gonna give me the place where the little flame is gonna go. Technically, like that's it. Like we don't need to do anything else because this hole right there matches perfectly with the shape of the flame. However, in my experience, there might be a little bit of tolerance problems. So I'm gonna go here, and what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna bring the pivot point down to the center, like about there, and I'm gonna scale it just a tad bit, almost nothing, just a tad bit. And now we're gonna remove the element. So what this will do is it'll give me a little bit more wiggling room that we can later fill in with other things, and that's where this thing is gonna fit. It's maybe just a little bit less. There we go. Now, some people like to trim dynamic these guys right here to like soften the elements, but then the fit is not as perfect. So I'm actually gonna like run the risk and keep it like this, just so that we can work a little bit better. We need to convert this into an actual Boolean mesh thing. So I'm gonna say Boolean, make Boolean mesh. And once this is done, there we go. Up here, we're gonna have this U mesh, which is now the actual element. Now I did forget to like soften like this up a little bit, so I'm just gonna use my trim dynamic to sculpt. We still have enough geometry. The only place where things are like really wonky are on the borders of the thing. That's where all of the triangulation is gonna be happening, but everything else should be working quite nice. Now, as you can see, this base is really, really heavy, 4.57 million polygons, but this is what we need. This is the piece that we need. That's the first piece. So I'm actually gonna load a Gavala. Let's load in the main tool, which has 11 million polygons and everything. And yeah, like now it's time. Now that we have this base mesh here with a hole in it, we have the little flame over here. Let's turn everything else off. We have the little flame, which is going to go in Gavala's place. Actually, the best idea would be to append this little frame right here. So this is the main Gavala statue, if you wish. And this is going to be the base of Gavala. So yeah, we're pretty much done with the sculpture, guys. We're gonna have 2 more videos in this chapter, which is gonna be the preparation for the files. We're gonna start preparing these files, and we're gonna get them ready for the 3D printing process. So hang on tight, and I'll see you back on the next one. Bye-bye.